they have CCTV is everywhere in Korea. We've talked about this before. They have them in the schools, in the classrooms. So sometimes the tiger moms come and they watch their kid all day, watching the teacher.
Hey guys! Welcome back to the Sizzle. I'm your host John.
And I'm Jade.
And we are talking about everything K-pop, K-dramas, K-culture. Today we are actually combining both. We are talking about the most popular K-drama out now in Korea. It's called Crash Course in Romance.
Ah, yes. I've heard a lot about this drama.
It's everywhere. Like if you go to like Kimbap Chongu, you always see it on the screen. It's always playing. And if you guys don't know or heard of the drama, it's about a middle-aged woman who actually takes care of her niece, but eventually adopts her as her own daughter. And she wants the best for her niece, so she enrolls her niece in a top-flight math hagwon, where there's a if you guys didn't know, there's a thing called superstar math teachers, and they're like treated like celebrities.
Yep, and they only take care of the best children.
Yeah,
if there are best children, but more like celebrities and like higher official children, and like raise them and make sure that their grades go up.
Yeah, so there's a celebrity math teacher and then the middle-aged ajuma, if you will, and they meet and they kind of have feelings for each other. It's a little bit of comedy, a little bit of melodrama mixed into it. I feel like it's really well done. And if you guys want to see the full breakdown and analysis of that drama, I'll leave the link down below so you guys can go check it out. But we are talking a little bit more reality today. And I feel like Jade also has a good spot from where she's coming from, because she used to be a hagwon teacher.
I used to be a hagwon teacher for 3 years actually. I taught at a kindergarten and then added like a traditional hagwon, because traditionally they are kind of like cram schools where it's like, okay, I want to learn English or I want to learn math, or
so it's like subject specific?
Yeah, subject specific. And then like you raise their level, so you level test them, say where they are, and you're like, okay, we'll get you to here at this point. You make a promise to the parents.
Did you have to teach different levels, or did
yes,
you just? Okay.
I've taught every level.
Oh, so from beginner to
like advanced, like they could go to college. It's completely fine. Yeah.
So Jade came here like 7 years ago.
Yeah, 7.
That's when foreigners started to come, right?
Yeah, like at that time there weren't that many foreigners in Korea, but well, there were a lot of people visiting, but not living.
Were most of the foreigner jobs like hagwon jobs usually?
Yeah, at the beginning it was mostly hagwon, or like work at like an English cafe or even Latte World. Like it was more like you had the very specific jobs that you had to do.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, and I think this is something very important, is if you want to live in Korea for a long time, like, or even visit for a long time, let's say a year or something, and you want to get a job, well, the best jobs for foreigners that pay well are English jobs. So if you're not from an English country, I want to stress that that's very difficult, because they check that. Right.
And it can be
even if you speak English very good.
If you have, some countries have 2 languages, and so sometimes they're like, we won't take it. It's like, if your official language is only English, then they'll take you. Yeah.
And I don't know if this is true for your hagwon, but I heard a lot of things like, if you don't look like a certain way. Did you have that issue?
Well, I didn't have much of an issue, but it's more like you have to have bright smiles and look very stereotypically like American or British. Like they want.
What is that? What is it, like white American, or doesn't really matter?
Yeah, it is. But then if it's like, think it's more personality.
Okay,
And
that's
it's
good.
also who's like, if you hire directly through the school, then it will be much easier than if you have a recruiter. Because then the recruiter wants all of like the blonde-haired, blue-eyed people.
I
But if
see.
it's like you are just applying directly, then I think you'll have a much easier time. Because a lot of hagwons have different requirements, weird requirements. Like sometimes they're like, we will not hire anybody with short hair, and I'm like, oh, why?
Really?
It could be anybody. Or they'll be like, we won't hire anyone that's from New York City. We only want people from LA or something like that. It's always something weird, and there's always a story behind it. But
I've actually I've worked in English as well, English academies, and we had a guy from the United Kingdom, UK, and the moms that were enrolled their kids in the course requested that that guy speak more American English. That is crazy to me that UK is where English originated from. So that's the official way I feel English should be spoken. But since, media, American media especially, is so widespread, then the moms want their kids to speak American English, and that's crazy that they asked him to speak more American English.
I've had my friend just told me last week we were eating dinner, and she was like, like letting all her stress out. When you're a teacher, you have to tell everything that happened, and she was saying that one of the parents and her got in an argument because she said you're not American enough, and so she's like, I don't know what that means. I've been in America my whole life. Yeah.
Like, how would they even know what's?
That's what she said. She's like, you can't speak English.
How would they? That's crazy to me, and I feel like there's a lot of pressure for both the teachers and the students.
Yeah, and I've had so many, because usually the setup is at like an English hagwon, is that you have a foreign teacher and you also have a Korean teacher, so that if there's any translation issues
yes.
or like to talk directly to the parents, that Korean teacher is your liaison, that's your go-to person.
Yes.
So usually, when I worked at a hagwon, I've seen Korean teachers leave like consistently if there's like one class that has all tiger moms, or it's like 3 tiger moms, and what they do is they go to cafes during the day and they just talk constantly about their children and about the teacher, and they're like, we need to get this teacher out of there, I don't like her, and then the teacher will leave.
Speaking of which, this is our topic for. This is a great transition, by the way. Speaking of which, is this drama deals with tiger moms, and we want to talk about the pressure for the children, and the rate of suicide, unfortunately, for Korea is pretty high for most developed countries. If you guys want to know the details in terms of the statistics, make sure you check out the article down below where we break it down a little bit even more for you. It might be shocking for a lot of people that the highest rate of suicide in Korea is the younger people. So people who are in high school until college. So that's where all the pressure, to succeed from their family and from society is. So that kind of pressure builds up, and these young adults can't take it anymore, and they hurt themselves. So Jade, have you, since you're talking about these tiger moms, have you actually met like a Korean tiger mom that went off?
She was so insane. I'm sorry, but she was like, I had a student, and you could tell like the mom favored one child after the other child, and she was like, this is my golden
That's
son.
what happened in the drama too.
Right?
Yeah, the mom favors one son over the other son.
Yeah, and so they do that, and then they'll have this one son that can never do wrong. Like, they'll never make a mistake, right? But then, like, he had a sister, and the sister was, like, needed help and stuff, and she just didn't pay attention to her, and she was so, like, straight out of a drama, like, head to toe, like, designer and everything. And I was just like, why don't you take care of both of your
That's exactly. So I'm assuming that's why this is a #1 drama, is because how accurate it portrays a tiger mom. Because this is exactly what happened in the drama with the mom with the 2 sons. And if you even have one child, where most Korean families only have 1 kid, the pressure for that 1 kid to succeed is tremendous.
It's like, it's so, like, if you talk to the children, so at first when they're like 5 to like 9, it's okay. It's like
They
they're
have time to play.
studying, and it's kind of really stressful because sometimes like kindergartners are made to make like a page of writing, and they're like, I can't do this. I'm like, it's okay, we can do it slowly. But when they get over that age, they have this sudden pressure like, oh, now I'm in middle school. I have to study good now to get into a good high school, and then I can go into a good college if I keep studying.
It starts in middle school.
Yeah, and what you notice as a teacher, at least for me, is that they get quieter. Like in America, they get louder as they get older. But in Korea, they get quieter because they have to work. They have to study so much. They have so much stress in their head. They're like, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that. And like when the younger kids come in, they're so loud. When the older kids come in, just slowly quiet.
They're just drained.
Yeah, they're drained.
Energy,
and they go to school from 9 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So they're so exhausted, and then their parents are the ones that are, pushing them to do that. These moms, like these tiger moms, are like, not only do I want my son to do well, he cannot fail. So I'm going to go to the school.
That is true. There's a different level.
They have CCTV is everywhere in Korea. We've talked about this before. They have them in the schools, in the classrooms. So sometimes the tiger moms come and they watch their kid all day, watching the teacher. I'm not. I wish I was joking. And sometimes
being a teacher in Korea is really
tough. There's audio. Sometimes they're not supposed to, but sometimes the hot ones have it, and their moms are listening, and then they're like, I don't like her accent, or I don't like how she says this.
Is that privacy overstepping the?
They don't have it here. Like, you're not allowed to have audio, but you are allowed to have CCTV for security, because you don't know if like the kids fall or
or something happens. Right? Misbehavior or something like that.
Which I've had something like that happen where a kid fell, and so we didn't know how he fell, and we had to watch the CCTV. But they don't use it for things like that. Usually it's for like, okay, I want to hyper criticize my teacher, and because I feel like half of it is they don't have anything else to do. So like if you're a rich housewife, or you're not working, or you're taking care of
they're talking about the moms.
Yeah, the moms, right? All they do is watch their kid. Their kid is their life. So like of course they're gonna be.
They drop them off, they pick them up from school, and they follow them to academy, right?
Yeah, they follow them there. They drop them off. Sometimes they get gifts. They're like, please take care of my child, and you're like, okay.
So back to the drama, and I'm not sure if this is true or not, but that's why I'm asking. Is the moms like, while their kids are in school, they come together as a group, and if they don't like something, the head mom or the leader mom will, or they ask the leader mom, we need this to happen, make it happen. And the mom in the drama does it in kind of a sketchy way, Have you ever experienced that, or is that actually true? Like, the moms have that much power?
They do, because if they're usually who the head mom is the mom that's been there the longest, or the mom that has the most friends, who she brought with her to the house.
So it's a little bit of social power.
Because it's like, if she's like, if I don't like it, I'm gonna take my kid out, and when her kid leaves, all of the other kids leave.
Yeah.
So they're so worried.
That's how they use their power.
Of the domino effect of, we can't lose her, because we lose like 7
It's a
kids.
business.
Yeah,
it really is a business.
And then like if they talk badly about the hagwon to the other moms at the cafes, then no one will send their kids there. And usually the hagwons are catered to their neighborhood, their small neighborhood. So it's like, if all of the neighborhood moms won't send their kids, the hagwon fails.
And the dramas, the main hagwons are in Gangnam. So if you guys don't know where Gangnam is, like Gangnam style, that area is the richest area, most affluent area of Korea, so everyone wants to send their kids there for, academy. So that's where that takes place. Where did you teach your hagwon?
I taught in 2 places, but near Gyeonggi-do. In
Gyeonggi-do, so that's like right outside of Seoul, which is also a good. It's starting to actually get more students from Seoul because they're moving out.
All of the so now because Gangnam is so expensive, a lot of the families there own property, but they live outside. They live in like a satellite city like Hanamshi or even Suwon or near Bundang, and then those places are now having a lot of these tiger mom situations because they're all the rich moms that now don't want to live in the city. They want to have a bigger villa or something like that.
Yeah, and it also is important. I feel like for kids to run around, and so having more space is very important. Doing sports, that kind of stuff. Those areas have like bigger grass areas.
They have bigger the high schools have more activities and like they have
more like an American.
Yeah, it's more
style,
American. Like they have bigger campuses rather than being a city school. So they moving their kids out there. Like they're building the subway line to have more of these kind of areas. So it's really kind of a hot place, like Gyeonggi-do right now for hagwons and things like that. So there's so many new ones popping up and they're hiring a lot. But if you what you should ask if you're a teacher is how often has the teacher changed in the last year? Because that will tell you how many tiger moms you have at your hagwon.
Yeah, so you know, if you guys do come to Korea, just be aware the educational system is a lot more strict than probably where you're from. It was for me, at least. They hold everything to a higher standard, and the topics are a lot more difficult, and you have to kind of keep up, you know. So and just be aware of that. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you guys are surprised at any of these, you know, tips that maybe Jade shared, let us know down in the comments. Or if you guys feel like if coming to Korea for studying Korean or for university, also let us know if you want to know what's it like, because we've both been, you know, university students here. So we would love to hear from you, your feedback, and what you would want to learn next time. So that's it for today's video. We'll see you guys in the next one. Annyeong!